the next one. That's right. Hallelujah. Your hands. Keep clapping. What's the next? I will rejoice. Let's finish this. Hallelujah. I am so glad. I will rejoice while he has. So what's the next? When I pray, say glory, Lord. Thank you. Clap for yourself. When I pray. But when I say this TikTok generation, even if you watch TikTok, the moment you wake up for morning, waiting to enter your head now. Hey, you know, what generation? This generation, which go they bite them, they press them, let them let the shout Holy Ghost fire, then they ask them, what is it? And they ask me, what is it? Haven't you done it? But there's no Hebrews. This generation, you go give their children an assignment. Instead of them to shout, go give the children the normal assignment. You go to hear things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You say? The last one. And what's the last? Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you. You're such an amazing audience. I did all of that to prep us into this event. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to our stage. Our sound has properly begun. So, on this note, without further ado, I'd like to welcome the presidents of the Faculty of Engineering, right? No? All right, please, you have to work with me. If not for everything, I have experience. I've been hosting this event for past 7 years. I have experience. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, on this note, we'd like to take the welcome address from the president. Thereafter, the staff advisor can now speak to us, and then we get into the lecture. Please, if your hands are not busy, where's the tinta? Where's the soda? Where's the tinta? So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the very one of the Faculty of Engineering, none other and the amazing comrade Tishum. A lot of applause for him, please. Good morning, everybody. I want to specifically thank each and every one of you for coming here. Although there were some miscomplications due to the sound system and the administration, but thank you very much for coming. I want to thank the staff advisor. The thing is to be here, but he's still going to be here. I want to thank the students most especially, and I want to thank the guest speakers who made out their time to be here. I want you all to first of all take a note that this event, it isn't just a regular event. It's where you guys come, meet opportunity. You guys came to learn. Aside the learning, there are also other cash prizes and scholarships to be given in this particular event. So we'll be hearing from our amazing guest speakers. Most of them have walked the same path that we have, and they have been successful in this same institution and in the outside world. So please, I would want us to keep our minds open, take notes of what they have to say, and ask necessarily important questions. And most especially, I want you guys to enjoy the event. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. As you all know, engineering, we are not known by too many words, we are known by actions. All right? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, before I bring up the staff advisor to speak to us, I'd like to introduce and recognize the presence of these very amazing personalities here present. Please, we have none other than Mr. Mazi Pastor Onoha. Please, a round of applause, Mr. Mazi, where are you? I'd like to also recognize Dr. Chigozie Chukwu. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Chigozie. I'd like to recognize in our midst Richard Jaffet Obondamati. A round of applause for Richard Jaffet. Thank you. I'd like to also recognize not other than Ms. Judith Okoye. Please, a round of applause for Ms. Judith Okoye. I'd like to recognize Mrs. Sakene Regina Wachukwu. Please, a round of applause for her. She's here. I'd like to also recognize Mr. Christian Daniel. A round of applause for him, please. Is he there? All right, good. And let me also recognize Engineer IZS Akubo. A round of applause for Engineer Akubo. And then I'd like to recognize Pastor Tonin Akinda. Pastor Tonin Akinda, is he here?
Okay, yes, I'd like to also recognize the national president of the Ogoni students. Mayor Ogoni, none other than His Royal Majesty Committee Heritage Marina. Please, another one place for him. Thank you so much. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please, we have to give honor to whom honor is due. I respect this man a lot. He's one of the pivotal aspects of my life while I was a student in this prestigious university, and it's such an honor to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if your hands are not busy, with a standing ovation and a clapping appreciation, please, I'd like you to put your hands together as we make welcome the staff advisor of the Faculty of Engineering, who is welcome and opening the lab, none other than Thank you so much. You can have a seat. Although my very good friend has said we'll be hearing less of Google today. But when it comes to engineering, you must not avoid Google. Hope you know that, because that's our slogan. Greatest engineering students. The voice is too low. Are we sure we're engineering students? Greatest upon greatest engineering students. It's coming up. I think I'm encouraged. Upon the greatest engineering students. Kulu. We're not go more than this. I want to especially welcome every one of you here today. Despite your busy schedules, you made that time to be here with us this afternoon. We are here on this special program tagged Books and what? Business. The Dean of Engineering, in the person of Engineer Professor J.G. Apa, would have been here, but is very, very busy. But I know before the program, elapses or runs off, I will make sure I bring him here so that he can also speak to us. We have so much lined up for this program, and I'm very happy to associate with Nwesa on this. Today is not a speech-making day, but officially, I would want to open this program in the capacity of the Dean of Engineering. My prayer is that at the end of today's program, we will all see reason why we need to merge books and business. On behalf of the Dean, Faculty of Engineering, in the person of Engineer Professor J.G. Apa, and my own capacity, Engineer Kenneth Ezeoye, as the staff advisor in Nwesa, I hereby declare this summit open in the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Sit tight and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you very much for that welcome address and balancing academics as an entrepreneur. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, like I told you, it's a conference, so please sit tight, relax, and have the best of time. At this point, I think most of you need to bring out your jotters because you're coming out to have premium value. You're coming out to have premium value, and these are people who are making impact in their various industries and professions. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, speaking to us on the importance of skill acquisition for students and youth. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for none other than the amazing road track Japhet Obundamati. A round of applause for him as he gets here. Pull out for your speakers, please. Thank you.
Greatest Nigerian students,
Greatest engineering students. Greatest Dodo. Greatest Baba. Okay, first of all, I want to thank the organizers of this program for the opportunity to speak to my fellow young people. Um, I am Japhet Ogundamati, the head of operations, Capacity Youth Forum. Um, I want to apologize on behalf of our president, the person of Victor Chinda Kalabo. He was supposed to be here, but something came up. We are sorry. So we'll dive into what we have today. So we'll be talking about the importance of skill acquisition for students and youth. But before I start, I want to ask, how many of us here have skills? If you have skills, no, not that kind of skill. Okay, thank you. How many of us want to get a skill? So growing up, most of us had this ideology of go through school, try to get good grades, get a job. Okay, get a job after graduation. But Nigerians' current reality it's not giving us that of what we expected or what we thought. So I'll be talking to you today on why you should get a skill, and if you have a skill, why you should develop on it. So in today's fast changing world, the question is no longer just what did you study? It's what can you do? So you go look for a job or you go to a place and they're not really interested in what did you graduate with. It is important, please don't quote me wrong, it is important that we graduate well. It gives us an advantage to graduate well. But it's important that even as we plan on graduating well, it is important that we add a skill. It gives us an edge. So I will try to run because time is not our friend here. So why is skill acquisition so important? The world is fast changing. I'm sorry, I graduated from the Department of Electrical Engineering. Good afternoon, sir. So I'm an alumni of this great institution. So no offense, but I feel our syllabus today is not really doing justice to the reality outside. It is important we know this. A whole lot of things are changing. You, so I don't want to dive into that. I don't want to go deep into that. Employers look for what you can do, not just what you know. A lot of employers are more interested in your skill. So for instance, for me that read electrical engineering, they want to know, will you be able to do A? Will you be able to do B? Will you be able to do C? Not just the theory you studied in school. For we universities, or for me that graduated from universities, let's tell ourselves the truth. We'll be honest with each other. Most of the things we do here are basically theories. The practicals we do are not that much. So you can't really compete with um, with people that have had experience. Okay, during my IT days, I was opportune to work with an oil firm, and to be honest, um, it was a learning process for me, a deep learning process for me. IT periods are learning process for students. So the person basically doing most of the things was the technician. Hope we know that there's the difference between an engineer and a technician. Are we together? There's a huge difference between a technician and an engineer. So if you study engineering, you graduate. Um, I can't even call myself an engineer because I just graduated years back, and Korean have a number of years where you could practice before you can say I'm I'm an engineer, or you say engineer so and so. I can't call myself an engineer. So if you didn't go to school, you didn't go through the process. most of us have gone through, or most of our predecessors have gone through. You can't call yourself an engineer. So back to my IT days. The technician was basically the one putting us through, telling us what to do, and all that. So it just opened my eyes to tell me that I have a whole lot to learn. What I'm learning in class, I need a whole lot to add to what I'm doing. I also have a friend, Solari, while I was in school too. Him too, he got an IT space. He went through some trainings, and today he's working with where he did his IT, because after they finished training him, they had to employ him. So it is important that you know that employers these days, they are not really interested in what you graduated with. They're interested in what value can you add to their companies. High rate of unemployment. If nothing should motivate you to learn a skill, unemployment should motivate you. The unemployment is high. Yeah, so you might be in school, and let me just be a deal breaker for you. You might be in school and you say, okay, all I just need to do is graduate to the first class. That's fine. It's it's perfect that you graduate to the first class, but we have a lot of first class graduates outside that don't have a job. It's saddening, but this is reality and we need to face it. Unemployment is a major factor why you should learn a skill. Then the last one is economic safety. Um, as much as add value to wherever we are, um, we need to we need to fight SAPA. That's very, very important that we fight SAPA. I don't know if you know what SAPA is. Do you know what SAPA is? Eh? So we need to fight being broke. We need and we need to be economic or financially independent. You need to have your own money so that you don't beat people. So that when you beat someone, they won't screenshot your chat and post on their WhatsApp status. How many of us want that? So there are two types of skills. We have the hard skills and we have the soft skills. You know, some of us we don't have the strength to learn those skills that you have to carry a lot of heavy things. There's an option for you. You learn a soft skill. While some of us we don't have that capacity when it comes to the brain to learn soft skills. So you can learn the hard skills. You have the strength to. So hard skills. Okay, sorry. Before I go forward, what skill acquisition? Skill acquisition is simply the process of learning and developing abilities that can be applied to solve problems, create value, and earn income, especially in this fast-changing world. Emphasis on create value. You know, a lot of us we are too interested in making money, but that shouldn't be our number one priority. Our number one priority is what value can you add? In return, value will be what's going to give you income. If you depend on what can you gain, how much in everything you're doing, how much can you get, and you want to learn a skill, you're interested in how much can this skill give me in a month, that's the beginning of the failure. So we need to get abilities that we can solve problems, we can create value, in return earn income. So just like I was saying, there are two types of skills: the hard skills, e.g., coding, tailoring, digital marketing, welding, graphic designer, etc. Then we have the soft skills. Example, communication. A lot of us we have communication issues, and it's a skill. It's something you could learn. Some of us in relationship, you say, I don't like to text. I don't like to call. You have a communication issue, and you need to deal with it. If you don't deal with it, that means you're not ready to grow. So communication is a skill. Teamwork. A lot of us don't know how to work with people. Some people say, I love doing things on my own. I love doing things on my own. It's not ideal. Teamwork is a skill you need to learn. Problem solving, emotional intelligence, public speaking. These are soft skills that you could learn as a person. So if you don't have the brain and the strength for the other ones, you can learn these ones. So down to the importance of skill acquisition, employability, and career readiness. Most companies now hire based on skills, not just certificates. So you see a company, they are for those of us that when we left secondary school newly, you see they want to employ a secretary and they're saying you must know how to do Microsoft, Microsoft Excel. How many of us know how to use Excel? Let's be sincere, like you know how to use Excel. Okay, just a handful. Knowing Excel alone is a big skill that can earn you a whole lot of money. But most of us don't know how to use Excel. Most of us don't know how to use Microsoft. Those things are supposed to be basic things we need to know. So a lot of companies they are interested in what skills. Having a skill, having a skill will give you an edge when you're looking for a job. Because I know some of us, not everybody that wants to do business. So when we graduate, you want to look for a job, and in your resume or your CV, it will be like you have to list the kind of skills you have. It gives you an edge. It gives you an edge over people that don't have a skill. Entrepreneurship and self-reliance. Skills can help you create jobs, not just seek them. So for some of us, we don't want to. Okay, I experienced 9 to 5, 8 to 5, I'll be 7 to 5 while I was in school. During my IT period, I was like, no, this life is not for me. So the green collar job or the job where you have to go in the morning, come back in the night, it's not for everybody. I'm one of those persons. So if you learn a skill, it's something that could help you start your own business, not just for you. You could even start business where you could employ other people. So having skills will not just only help you fight unemployment, it's going to help you be, to be self-reliant, financial independence. Even as students, skills provide side income streams. We know a lot of, while I was in school, I'm not one of those persons, so I'm not going to lie and say when I was in school, my parents were not helping me and all that, all those stuff motivational speakers do. But I know of students in schools where they were having financial issues. So some of them had to work hard, some of them had to do extra stuff. I think in F and G, if you pass F and G, you see people barbing hair, right? True of us. So those things are skills, and those people they are using it to earn or to get money. You see people doing laundry and all that. So these days now, you see people work from the comfort of their home. Like when I graduated, I did little buying and selling. So if you have a property you want to sell, um, I could help you get someone to. I did it briefly. So I made contact with someone, a programmer. He was a student of computer science in River State University here. So the guy has a lot of money, like a lot. And I had to ask him, bro, I thought you're a student like myself. He was like, yes. I said, what do you do? He said he's into back end. I was like, wow. I was like, can you teach me? And he was like, no problem. When I started, I just found out that it wasn't for me. I had to run away. So it gives you financial independence, global competitiveness. We're in a fast-changing world, and um, a whole lot of things we do in school will not really help us to compete globally. Um, we're in an age where we have access to people living across the world. If you don't develop your skills, have you been to a place where, or within a group of people, and you can't even talk? Like you don't even know what to say because of how intelligent or um, how developed they are. So if you don't develop yourself, if you don't get a skill, in time to come, you won't be able to, especially in this period where AI is becoming a popular thing, you won't be able to compete in the world. I'm surprised that a whole lot of young persons don't even know how to use normal ChatGPT and AI. Imagine if you don't know how to use stuff like that, talk less of skills that are necessary in today's world. So if I'm talking about skills, I'm not talking about coding, I'm not talking about shoemaking. I'm talking about skills too, like communication, skills like critical thinking and all that. So personal development and confidence. When you have skill, you have this personal. I think till now, we after we graduated, I have two of my classmates. One, okay, some of my classmates they had to start this smart home, this thing where smart home automation, where you could tell your curtains to open by themselves. I'm sorry, sir, but they didn't teach us those things in class. So those are things they had to go learn by themselves. And they are making huge money. Like they are making a lot of money. Some of them have not. Me, I've gone for service. Some of them have not gone for service. I think recently when I got back from service, we needed to put CCTV cameras. I had to call one of my classmates and he was like, "This is the money." I said, "Yeah, this money is too big." Oh. He said, "That's it." And I paid. I paid for it because it's something I cannot do. Even though, yes, me I did electronics. Even though it's something we kind of learned in class, but I can't fix cameras. I can't fix CCTV cameras because I'm sorry, sir. Again, we were not given those skills in class. I don't know where they went to learn it. Me, so I cannot go and learn it because I have a lot on my plate. But it's nice so that it's going to help you when you graduate and you don't have anything doing. Even when I went to service, it took me 3 months. I served in Abuja. You know, most of us we want to serve in Lagos, we want to serve in Abuja. Then I finally got to Abuja and I found out that I don't have any connection. It took me 3 good months to get a place for placement for my PPA. And it's that 3 months it was difficult for me, only God. But imagine you have a skill, you could use that skill to sustain yourself. So it gives you learning skills, helps you build problem solving ability and resilience. A skilled youth is more confident in facing life uncertainties. Um, I want to share something with us before I go. What students and youth should consider before choosing a skill. You know, most times they tell us learn a skill, and most times you learn a skill and you find out that you can't use it for anything. So I have a list of things I listed here, but because of time, I'm just going to give us a short format. There's something we call SWOT. It's called SWOT analysis. So before you want to choose a skill, you conduct what we call SWOT analysis. SWOT. How many of us have heard about it before? So my advice to any young person, anything you want to do in this life, conduct a SWOT analysis. The S stands for strengths. What are your strengths? Um, do I have the capacity to learn coding? Do I have the capacity to stand in front of public to learn public speaking? They compare. Do I have that ability to make people laugh as a comedian? Or if I say so, before you learn a skill, just try to make sure that you have the strength, you have the capacity. The W stands for weakness. What are your weaknesses? May I have a lot of weaknesses I don't want to share with us, but there are a lot of things me too I cannot do, especially when it comes to lifting things and all that. So imagine me going to learn welding. It's a dead on arrival thing. I won't be able to do that because I don't have the energy to carry anything. So I know my weakness. You need to conduct a SWOT analysis. You need to conduct and know your weaknesses. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. So you need to know the opportunities. This skill I'm learning, is it going to be relevant in the next how many years? And even though it's going to be relevant, would I have to develop again? Because there are certain skills, even though just like now I'm hearing I'm not a tech person. I'm hearing that Python now and the rest of them they are becoming a little bit obsolete. You have to learn some skills to add to it and all that um, for you to be a good programmer and all that. So what are the opportunities if I learn this skill? If let's not lie to ourselves, apart from creating value, the next thing we are looking at is how much, what can I use this skill to get? How much can I get from this skill? So what are the opportunities? Um, if I learn this skill, where will I be able to work? What will I be able to do? Then the threats. So what are the threats? What are things threatening these skills? For instance, will this skill be obsolete in the next? We went for a meeting recently. So someone was like, he has this skill, but they said without rope access, without either rope access or something like that, he won't be able to. They won't be able to employ him. Now he's looking for a way to add rope, something rope. It's those people that work um, in the rig. So I think it's rope access or something like that. He has a skill already, but he needs to add another skill to that skill for them to employ him. So what are the threats in time? Everything is all about time. In time, Microsoft and the rest of all those things too, they are almost fading away. You see people do things, AI just go do what you want to do and you're good to go. Just like some of us, we do that with our assignments. I know we have lecturers here, but let's tell ourselves the truth. So it is important that we conduct a SWOT analysis. What are your passions? What's the market demand? What's the resource available? What's the future relevance? So that you don't go learn a skill and in time to come, you won't be able to use that skill for anything. So today I leave you with this challenge. Don't wait until after graduation to acquire a skill. Start now, build something with your hands, your mind, and your talent. Because in today's world, a certificate may get you into the room, but it is your skill that will keep you in that room. So as you walk out of here, remember this: skills pay the bills, competence opens doors, and action secures your future. The time to start is now, and the person to start with you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sababu Kashi, Global Skill. All right, that was very awesome presentation and delivery by Mr. Japheth. These skills are very essential, from soft skill to hard skills. And just like he said, one of the soft skills you have is communication. And one of the privileges I enjoy holding this microphone is that I've had the privilege of being flown in first class aircrafts. I've had the privilege of going to government houses as a result of just holding this microphone. I've not even started using my engineering certificate. As a matter of fact, I've not collected it. Yes, that's the truth. And like I told you guys, this is impact-based conference. This microphone alone helped me pay my school fees, helped me sponsor all that. And I'm very expensive, bro. I'm not cheap. I'm not be choice. Sometimes, when you're hungry, you look as if you are. I'm not cheap. I'm very expensive. The people know that. The people that know. But then, relationship, like you said, is also one of the things that will open doors of opportunities for you. Because sometimes, like I said earlier, relationship is a currency higher than money. If you want to see the governor now, you by yourself, you cannot go. But if the vice chancellor holds your hand, you will see the governor. If the dean of Senate Affairs holds your hand, you will see the governor. If the staff advisor holds your hand, you see the governor. That's how it changes of opportunity, doing your SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, and of course, your threats. Once again, please give it up for Mr. Japheth, an amazing, awesome delivery. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize in our midst the CEO of DAF Foundation, that's Daniel Amakre Foundation. Please, just step up. Please a round of applause for him. I'd like to also recognize in our midst this wonderful afternoon one man who has been an exceptional leader right from the days we were in this university. Please put your hands together for the Emeritus President of the National Union of Engineering Student Association, the National Universities Engineering Student Association, that's the UESA. Next to mine. All right, I'd like to also recognize while we move forward, none other than the President of... Yes. When it is digital, it is computer. Have you checked your CGPA, sir? Doesn't do. Please let's also recognize the President, DPF Chairman, Engineering. Am I correct? Graphic designer, and I've had the privilege of having her do a little job for me, and she delivered excellently. Amongst the many skills, having her do a little job for me, and she delivered excellently. Amongst the many skills and the many values that she possesses. any value that she possesses.
Good afternoon, everybody. Together. Good afternoon, everybody. Together, this amazing event. Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for coming. And I would also like to thank the CEO of Daniel Amakri Foundation because I recently found out that he's the reason I'm here. He's mastering time management for school. And that's why in secondary school, our teachers used to tell us not to allow our friends to write for us. Because when you read it, you don't relive the moment. You are living a moment at that time. Do you understand? So please, I want to encourage everyone here. Thank you. Our MC said that this is a conference, and that's what it is. So without further ado, let me just start. Time is capital. What does that mean? What is capital? Capital is the first resource that we have to start any venture. That means that time is the first resource we have to start anything, whether it's 100 boxes of phones. I've given you capital, even though I didn't give you money. Do you agree with me? Does anybody here agree with me? Okay, so that's how important time is. So if you're doing both business and school, which are two very time demanding ventures, by the way, you have to understand that you must use your time and you must use your time wisely. The student entrepreneur life is a risk some of your time. I attended an event last Saturday and someone asked a question us what time really is. It introduces time as what it is, an asset. Time is an asset and time management is a skill. Do we realize that we have the exact same amount of time in a day as Elon Musk? Have you thought about it? Like, have you really thought about this? I will not call their names, but they have generated figures that some of us here can consider unimaginable. There are people who have succeeded at being student entrepreneurs and they have the exact same amount of time as each and every one of us in this room. And it's impossible to ignore the role that time has to play in achieving success in both business and in studies. So I want to ask a question. Is it that we don't have enough time or is it that we don't know how to use it? Why is time important and how important is it? Time is the only asset and resource on this earth that cannot be regained. It's the only one. Unlike material possessions like money, cars, phones, time doesn't come back when it's lost. Now you tell me, how important does that make your time? I listened to a very influential man a few days ago. He said he wanted to make an offer. He said that if he tells you, because he can afford it, if he tells you you should buy, he will get you any car of your choice. Any car of your choice, no matter what it is. But the only catch is that it's the only car you get in your entire lifetime. Which car will you choose and what do you put into consideration when you're choosing that car? Now, let us apply this to our time. We have 24 hours of non reusable time every single day. So, how intentional are you going to be with every hour, knowing that every time you lose your time, you cannot get it back? Have you wondered why we use the phrase spending time? It shows that time is a resource, it can be spent. Aside time and money, I don't think there's anything we talk about spending. Is there? And that's why sometimes people use the phrase time is money, because that is how important it is. So let's talk about a mindset shift here. So if we can spend time, just how we can spend money, that means we can invest time. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. So we have to shift our mindsets from spending time to investing time. That is the key to mastering your time. In order to master your time, you need to learn how to invest it. So how do I invest my time? Sean, like a plague. Please, procrastination is a disease. It is a tip. Just imagine your parents give you money at the beginning of a semester and says, okay, this money is for your books. and you decide on your own, okay, I want to use this my book money to buy my books at the end of the semester. And then because you have other expenses, you have to buy food, you have to pay transport, you have to do other things. The money is just going. So at the end of semester, let's assume you have 50 naira remaining. Can you convince your lecturers to give you all those your materials that are needed for 50 naira? Can you do that? No. So if you waste your time procrastinating, okay, I don't want to do all these things right now, I'll do it later. By the time it piles up, what are you going to do? So if you take your time like that, you understand how important it is. So if with money, you can say, okay, I will borrow from my friend, and then I would pay for the materials, and later on I'll pay back. But I want to ask, can you borrow time? Can you borrow time? Can you borrow time? What if I say you can borrow time? And I'm going to show you how with my next point, which is delegate. Now, with delegation, this is a very deep topic because it answers the question, can you borrow time? And this is the secret many successful people use to capture graduates. They buy your time. So if you have 10 tasks to do in 5 minutes, and you know that you only have the ability to do two, you have a list of 10 things, you have 8, then you have 2 that you can do in 5 minutes, and then there are 8 remaining. But that 5 minutes is already there for you, and it's also there for everyone else. So if you call someone and say, okay, take these 2, take these 2, take these 2, you need 5 people to finish all your 10 tasks in 5 minutes. Do you agree with me? Do you now see how successful people are able to do so much in such little time? Because they've learned how to delegate, they've learned how to borrow or buy time. I said I was going to add this. If you are using your time as a student to make money, you have to be using your money to make time. Be intentional about how you invest your time. You don't have to say yes to everything. You have to be very intentional about how you spend your time. Use routines and habits to save time. So when you have time blocks for specific activities, you don't end up at the end of the day thinking, ah, what did I even use my time to do today, Safe? It's 5 p.m., I've not done anything. Because you need to spend time to build routines and habits. So what routines do for you is if you have a routine in the morning, everything that you need to do in the morning has already been done before the day starts, let's say. So you don't have to think about what to do later on because you have already done it prior to that time. And that's why routines and habits are so important. You save the time you would have used to do activities later. Scheduling tasks ahead of time and sticking to your schedule. Several months ago, my friend reached out to posted that he wants to start an accountability group. He's in this hall, so I'm not going to look his way. He said he wrote a list of things that he had to do, and the title of the list was "If I don't do this, I will die." At first, I didn't think it was so serious. I said, you know, you won't die now, so just leave it. But I tried it, and every time I looked at that list, I was scared. What if I actually die? That's how scheduling of tasks helps. So if you are able to schedule your day, everything you have to do in the day, you've written it out, you've given it time, it also helps you not to say yes to things that you're not supposed to say yes to. Because at the end of the day, you know, I have time for this. And if this time I have given for this is not what I'm using this for, then I'm wasting it. Remember, we are talking about investing time here and not just spending it. The difference is clear when you move from spending time to investing it. Trust me. So you have to review your time expenses also. So at the end of the day or at the end of the week, you just look through, okay, what have I achieved today? That's why it's important to have a schedule so that you can look through the things that you planned to do in that day and see how many of them you've been able to do. At the end of the week, you can do the same thing. Okay, so what did I plan to do this week? I plan to do A, I plan to do Z. Have I done all of them? And remember, we talked about avoiding procrastination. So we have to take our time to do everything that we have on our schedule for the day and for the week. You also read books that help you understand how time works and how to use it effectively. How time works. If you don't understand how something works, you won't be able to effectively use it. So spend your time reading books that talk about how time works. If you're not a reader, you can watch videos, you can listen to audiobooks, but just keep learning. Because something we don't realize is that most of the people who are so successful, they are such voracious learners. They love to learn. They always want to know, is there a better way I can spend my time? Is there any way I can create more time for activities that matter to me? Okay, put tools in place that help you focus. Use your calendar, mark important dates, use scheduling apps, plan yourself, plan your activities, and all of that. So let's talk about a few traps in time management. The first one is multitasking. I know multitasking is praised, but it's not always helpful. What's actually helpful is focus. So doing many tasks at the same time is not proper investment. Focus is, if you spend your time doing one thing, do it and do it well. Don't spend a lot of time multitasking. Productivity oftentimes is not found when you multitask. You realize you gave 50% to three activities and you have not finished any one. Whereas the person who started one first is already halfway through their second. So let's avoid multitasking as much as possible. Of course, there are times we have to multitask because we know what the student life is like, right? So we have to also try to avoid it. So if it's possible for you not to multitask, just avoid multitasking. The second one is don't be a perfectionist. Just be excellent. It's good enough. If you spend your time trying to make something that is already good enough to be perfect, you're going to waste your time. I think I'm running out of time. So the last one is poor boundaries. You have to learn how to say no to poor time investments. And then if you commit to doing everything, you have overcommitted and your time is demanded in so many places before you realize you have lost it all. Time is not about getting everything done. You cannot do everything. So use your time and that of others to create the success you desire in business and academics. Like I said, the student entrepreneur life is a journey and it is very demanding. So you will have sleepless nights, especially if you're just starting out, especially if you want to learn a skill. You have to put in time to learn before you put in time to earn. It's compulsory because you have to deliver and you cannot deliver if you did not put in the time to learn what you're trying to do. Thank you. So I will leave with two questions. I will leave you with two questions to ask. I don't know if there's time to take questions from the audience. Is there time? Later on. Okay. So two questions you ask yourself as you're leaving this place. They are similar, but they are for reflection. The first one is, what is one thing that you can stop doing today that will instantly give you more of your time back? The second, I don't know, did you get the first one? Should I say it again? What is one thing that if you stop doing will instantly give you some time back? The second one is, what is the most common time waster in your daily life? What's that thing that's wasting your time? Is it sleep? Write it down and think about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're not supposed to sleep, I'm not able to sleep. And that means a little sleep, a little slumber, because poverty encroach your house. So you're not supposed to sleep. Somebody said something sometime ago. He said if you don't have 10 million naira anywhere in your life, you're not supposed to go for Christmas. And then some of us remain in Port Harcourt. All right, that was a very wonderful masterpiece delivery from Ms. Judith Okoye. Once again, please a round of applause for her. All right, we will take some questions, but we're trying to, we started late and then we're trying to beat time, so please, we'll take some questions. But before we move forward, I'd like to introduce to you an amazing woman of capacity. She is the CEO of Total Nigeria. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Sakene Regina Nwachukwu. A round of applause for her. Such an amazing person. Anna, why are you this fine? Are you fine, are you? All right, sharp fingers. MTN users. MTN users. Our next speaker will be coming up shortly. MTN users, star 311 star hash, then you bring it forward. 55 28 43 05 97 60 41 409. Who got that? Who got that? It has already been used. The person will use and inside here. Who is it? Wait. So with your sit and time, you call out Africa. Alright, that's 500 naira airtime. So you can pay. I see, bros, you're owing 35. You're owing 35. So you paid 500, remaining 3,000. Alright, we have other recharge cards, but after which we will take our next speaker. After we take our next speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please, to bring up the next speaker, I'd like to welcome the co-host of this event. Please put your hands together for none other than Comrade Awaji Ataya. So round of applause. Greatest engineering student. We are there. Upon the greatest engineering student. Welcome, I want to welcome everybody to this wonderful event today. I hope we are all learning, because we are learning. Trying to balance book and business at the same time is a very tough decision. So I'll be bringing on, I want to give a little profile of the next speaker, Mazi Pascal Onoa. Pascal Onoa Mazi, for short, is a motivated achiever with Zestful Impact. He's the co-founder and current Chief Executive Officer of Perennials Limited and subsidiaries. He stands at the intersection of strategic property development, and human capital growth. With an unwavering commitment to excellence, he has led the organization to remarkable achievements within a short time frame, expanding its impact and deepening community engagement, and redefining standards in both property development and entrepreneurial education. A seasoned professional with over 2 decades of experience in the business world, Mazi brings a wealth of knowledge and deep understanding of real estate, having started and established 3 private real estate firms in the city of Port Harcourt alongside other investments. His passion for empowering individuals through teaching and capacity building has led him to establish various educational programs such as the Entrepreneurship Academy, Realtors Training Network, and the Real Estate Executive Bootcamp, of all which run successfully. Under his leadership, Perennials Limited has launched groundbreaking initiatives, developed landmark projects, and delivered world-class training, which has seen the training of over 2,000 realtors and making many millionaires in the process, equipping countless professionals with the tools to thrive in a competitive market. His vision is not only to build structures, but to build people, transforming spaces, careers, communities, and through knowledge, innovation, insight, and impact. Please join me and extend a respectful welcome to the CEO of Perennials Limited, Mazi Pascal Onoa.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honestly, I'm excited to be here, and I want to thank